Welcome to Discover Ramona, where we explore the people, places, and businesses that make it the best place to live. I'm your host, Valley, and I'm here with your co-host, Jan Ryan.
Hi, Valley. How are you?
Yeah, good. Jan, I know that we have a lot of guests on the show that do events, host events, hold events, sponsor events, all things events Ramona. Where can people go, like a hub, to find out more information to attend?
Yeah, there's so many events it's hard to keep up with. So we're grateful to have everythingramona.com.
Oh.
They have a great calendar, all kinds of information. So I really recommend going there. And also, I know we had Eric Goforth, ramonaradio.com is another great source. So don't forget those two.
Yeah.
And don't forget the line dancing Thursday nights. And then also at Red, Whites, and Brews Monday, they have Dealer's Choice, where they have the local musicians and musicians from all over coming.
Okay, and then people can also go to that website and submit their event too, to be on the calendar?
I got to check on that. Yeah,
I would imagine so.
Red, Whites, collectively,
and Brews. You know, Ramona, just collectively, everybody gets together and does something good for the community.
Totally. Probably talk to John Haas or Ashley E. Norton for that.
Perfect. Okay, so our guest today is someone special. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having Casey Lynch. He's chair of the Ramona Planning Group and also owns Ramona Land Company with his wife.
Nice. Let's meet him. Hello, Casey. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. This is great.
Okay, you've been here before, but remind us all what it is that you do.
All right, I professionally I'm a land surveyor, so I'm licensed in the state of California to do property surveys and things like that. For my community, I serve as the Ramona Community Planning Group chairman, and I'm also sitting on our community advisory committee for the Parks Department with Ramona Municipal Water District.
Nice. What does a chairman do? Like, what do you guys do for the planning department?
Well, we are advisory to the County of San Diego on land use items in the Ramona community. So my board is composed of 15 total members, so 14 other people from the community, and we basically represent the community's interests, and we provide the county feedback on projects that come across the board for new construction or land use related items, zoning items, things like that.
Do you guys get a lot of pushback from the community of things that are proposed, or do you already know what they want? We
have an incredibly active community, I think, when it comes to hot topic items that everyone shows out, which I appreciate. I love packing a room because that really means that we get everyone's opinion out on the floor and we provide the best feedback to the county. So yeah, absolutely. We have I think a highly opinionated community when it comes to things.
Well, as they should in a way, because I feel like Ramona is one of those preserved communities that still has that old hometown feel, and you just don't want it overdeveloped. You don't want too many commercial, like you still want it to be a small town.
Yeah, it is definitely still holding on to the small town feel. We are an evolving community, I think. We've been discovered by a lot of San Diego County. I think COVID helped with that. I know the real estate market exploded right when COVID happened, and people were coming to our community from all different areas, from the Bay Area, even in San Diego County. So we definitely want to hold on to our small town feel, but progress happens, and at the same time, I think everybody wants to have nice places to shop and nice homes to live in, and so it's definitely evolving. We just want to make sure that the community's interests are best represented and that we get everyone's voice heard. That's one big topic for me, is that I want to make sure everybody is heard through the process. So.
Yeah.
And there's so much going on now too. There's a couple of big things, and you actually just hit on it too, is the parks. With the water district, that's a big topic I know you guys are working on.
Yeah, it's been quite an evolution with the water district and how they've partnered with the community. I'm incredibly proud of that board that serves and have pushed for this, and just our community for stepping up too. Ideally, what we want to do is transform Wellfield Park into the best community space it can be, where For me, I want to see kids playing there with balls during the day when there's no sports happening. People come to the park, a kind of a central gathering point for recreation. So.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that, and I know the community's really into that too.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been a great effort so far. We're master planning for the park right now, and trying to get everyone's ideas down on paper. Ideas flow, and sometimes things don't look like how most people would want, and that's okay. That's good. It starts the conversation. That's what we need is a community conversation to occur. So.
Yeah, and it's a lot of work, a lot of parts in motion.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of different users of the park, all in that one small space, I would say. It looks like a large park, but there's a lot that goes on, from softball, baseball, you got the rodeo grounds, and so trying to make sure all that works and clicks together has been a lot of collaboration.
Once the plans are all set, right, and it's approved and everything, how long does it take to build out something like that?
We have got to find funding. That's the next step. Everything costs money, and so funding is probably the hardest thing to come across. So that'll be part of the conversation, is how do we fund these projects, and how do we get them built. And so ideally right now what we want to put forward is, what do we want to see? And we have to think, as not only as planners at the community planning group, but at that level too, we have to be thinking 25 and 30 years down the line, right? Not for the now, but that far ahead. So,
yeah, it takes that time period too to get things through. Some of them.
It does.
And then we're so fortunate to have you with your background and experience. I know you've been chair in the past too, so it really helps Ramona to have somebody with your experience.
Yeah, no, it definitely is helpful. I think everybody's experience is important in the process, though. And our current board is comprised of such great experience. So many people coming from construction, from academics, from business owners in the community itself. So I think we have a great representation happening right now.
That's a huge help.
Yeah.
And it pays so well.
We don't do it for the pay.
You know what I love seeing is when you drive through different communities, even in different states, you can see what planning committee actually cared and had foresight versus the ones that you're like, I think they were just trying to meet a requirement, and you can see it. You can see like they're spending the money the right way and responsibly. Yeah. And I think Ramona has always shown itself from water, right, to even city planning, things like this, that people are invested into the outcome and making sure that it is the best thing for the community, short-term and long-term. Absolutely. And I love that about Ramona.
Yeah, we've done some great things. Even this last year, we did sidewalk or crosswalk enhancements in town. So if you drive through, you're going to see these great crosswalks that look like brick. That was a total community effort. That started years ago, where we said, hey, even at the planning group level, we need to be able to cross the street safely. And so Caltrans worked cooperatively with members from the chamber and the entire community and the planning group. And so if you drive down Ramona right now, you're going to see these great crosswalks at these two different intersections. And so I think coming online soon is going to be the parking lot at Mount Woodson and Potato Chip Rock. That's going to be coming soon. We started that 8 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And it's finally coming to fruition that we're going to see that people don't have to park on Highway 67 anymore. They can park in this, there'll be this great parking lot in the back of the fire station there, and trail access. And so that's just things that we started. When you look at 8-year period, how long it took for that to come along, it does take time. We're playing a long game here, not a short game. But once that project is completed, imagine not having to worry about people get run over on 67 to go enjoy the trail, and having a safe place to park and hike. So it's going to be great.
That is exciting.
What are you looking at for ETA? Is there, or is it just, it's hard to say?
I heard it's going to bid here soon, so we're probably maybe another year or two, I would guess, with construction and things like that. That's normal timeline, but at least it's happening. For sure. And the other thing is, I know there's a big move for music too with the county. Yeah, this has been great. So commending one of my members for at least bringing light to this at the planning group level. And once I jumped into it, I saw that this revolves around our wineries, our boutique wineries in town. So when the original winery ordinance came out, it excluded music and events. Maybe not the best in terms of foresight of where we would be today, but that happens with our zoning laws. Sometimes our laws are slow to catch up to the public's desire to use the facilities. And so some things came up through the zone itself, and I sat down and said, you know what, we can change this as a group, as a community. We can, and so through RMA, that's the Ramona Music Alliance. They spearheaded this whole effort, asked for help to get it changed. At our last planning group meeting, we had close to 125 people in the audience.
Oh, wow.
Packed it.
And we recommended that this change occur where music be allowed at our boutique wineries. I think it's completely reasonable to think that you're sipping on a glass of wine and someone's playing a guitar. And so I commend John Haas and Ashley Norton for their efforts, in getting this, getting this started. Our planning group itself for jumping on it and asking the county to change. And so now we need the community to show up too, and call the supervisor's office, show up at Board of Supervisors meetings so we can push this thing through and get the music back at wineries legally.
Like such a
yeah.
Seems like such an innocent request, right?
Oh, it's
the process.
There's a process. Our zoning laws are in place, and we have to honor those. And there's a lot of different steps that come into a zoning law and something like this in terms of a change with noise that it creates. But I think it's going to go through. Our wineries are not open late. It's not like a bar that's open until midnight playing music, right? Like they're usually, up by 6 or 8 o'clock, they're closing up because they're at people's homes,
right?
And so the effect on sound and noise, I think, is going to have a minimal impact.
And where's the best place to keep up with that, to find out when to show up?
Oh, well, you can check the agenda at the Board of Supervisors meeting. You can always shoot me an email at my planning group email, which is on their website, at the county website. And, just tracking it, or you can, sign up for alerts from Ramona Music Alliance. I know that they'll be on top of it, making sure that this gets
Or you can
through.
send it to me and we can post it
Yeah,
here
we
too.
can do that too, for sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Another big thing that I keep getting, I don't know if you get it too, Valley, but ADUs is huge.
Wow.
Every time I show a home with some land, people ask about
Can
ADU.
I put an ADU on there?
Yeah, it's the thing.
Yeah, so, and the answer is most likely yes. Everyone is allowed to place an ADU on their property. These laws came down from the state, and they're continuing to expand what you can and can't do. In the county, they're not as, I would say, aggressive as like the city of San Diego is being. The city of San Diego is incredibly aggressive with ADUs, but if you're looking at rural property, if you live in the county, unincorporated area of the county, you can build an ADU. You have to follow the rules just like anybody else. Obviously, there's set requirements in order to construct one, but everyone is entitled to build an ADU and a junior ADU, which is attached to your house. So you can have 2 separate rental streams on your property right now, helping you afford your house, which is
Another
something
issue.
helpful for sure.
Right.
Yeah. So that, and then there's along with the ADUs, there's this SB 9 law too that I know I keep talking to people about and trying to get traction because it's a great idea. My wife and I are personally doing it on our house.
Are you?
We want our girls to inherit 2 properties and not 1, so it just makes sense to go through the process. If you qualify with all the requirements, you can subdivide your property into 2 lots.
Does it like a condo? Doesn't it turn into a condo? Can you sell one?
So on the separate lot, you can build another residence and another ADU, and so you could technically have, almost what would that be, 6 different rental streams.
So you
or
could
different streams.
subdivide your property.
You can subdivide it
into
into, yeah. So there's set rules. Fire danger is a big one. So if you're in a certain high fire risk area, you might not be able to do it. But if you're outside of that risk area, then and you meet all the rest of the requirements, you can subdivide and do it.
I think that we get accustomed to the way things are,
Yeah.
because before we were all so populated in San Diego, if you look at just history rolls, right? And you see this one family owned all this land, and then they sold off this plot, sold off this, sold off this, sold off this. And they do that through, subdividing their lots. And, eventually it becomes the land we live on now. But if you look back, it was kind of like a very common thing. So now as the population grows, we need it again. So it makes sense that this is but you make it sound really easy. It can't be that easy.
It's definitely going to have its hurdles for sure, and costs, And just like what you just mentioned, our subdivision laws over the years have progressed, right? And so now we have very orderly, regulated development compared to what maybe was in place in the 40s and 50s and things like that.
Yeah.
But that's important, right? Because we want to make sure that development occurs safely and that all of our infrastructure can handle the development over time. So, so right now it is, I would say it's not the, I'm not going to label it as easy.
Yeah.
I'm going to label it most cases doable as long as you meet all of the requirements and have the funding to back it too.
Right.
So, but any bit of that investment is going to come around, in terms of real estate, right? I mean, if you have a house that's say valued at $1 million and you can divide it and create 2 properties, both are probably going to be valued slightly less than $1 million, but you almost doubled your money at that point. So
Wow.
it makes a lot of
Worth it.
sense to look at it. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is amazing, that
Yeah,
SB9.
it's a different way
Yeah.
to think.
Yeah.
It's good to have him on your Rolodex.
Yep.
As if he's not busy enough.
That's
Yeah, you got time to take my call, Casey? Got a quick question for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, well, we appreciate you so much for sharing
Thanks.
all your knowledge and just everything you do and give back to the community.
Thank you. I appreciate you
Appreciate
having
that a
me.
lot.
Yeah, no, it's a great community. I love it dearly, and so I will always continue to work hard for it.
No, we appreciate you in Ramona, for
Thank
sure.
you. Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you guys so much for watching Discover Ramona, where we explore the people, places, and businesses that make it the best place to live. We'll see you next time.